Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Hello there, Inspired Abby here. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not subscribed, please do subscribe to this channel. Please like the video, comment, share. I'm happy to have you here. What am I talking about today? I'm talking about Afro hair. I'm talking about African ladies' hair. So let's get into it.
Everywhere I go, beauty finds its way in the little things of every day.
Welcome back. So, growing up as a child, I had my hair cut low at certain times, especially when I was in secondary school. If you grew up in Nigeria or you went to school in Nigeria, you'd be familiar with this trend of you having to cut your hair in school. Later on, I was able to start growing my hair back, but I had really dense 4C type hair. So it was thick. It was proper Afro. It wasn't easy to comb through. It wasn't easy to do very much with it, but life moves on. We got on with it. We found a way to deal with it. So growing up in Nigeria at the time, we'll have our hair braided. So in simple cornrows for school, and that will be taken out every weekend, and you get it braided again into simple cornrows. And this was the pattern every weekend. You get your hair braided into cornrows, and that's what you take to school. Let's talk about what 4C hair is for people who don't know what 4C hair is. So 4C type hair is thick Afro hair. It's quite dense. It's natural Afro hair and it's quite thick and dense. And quite a lot of Black people, Africans have this type of hair. So at the time, braiding your hair into cornrows every week, it was a lot of work, a lot of effort, but it was the only acceptable type of hair style at the time. So I always looked forward to school holidays because I know at school holidays, I could have my hair braided with hair extensions, which would last more than a week. It would hold for a few weeks. It looked nice. It was trendy. So I always looked forward to that. Hair extensions, for people who don't know, it's hair extensions basically that you can add to your own hair, made from different materials. At the time, there wasn't human hair extensions when I was growing up, but there is human hair extensions now. But usually they're made from other materials, synthetic materials, and it helps with braiding hair. It helps with keeping your hair in place for a longer time. If you're trying to grow your hair, it's good to braid your hair with hair extensions because you have it in place. It helps to keep the moisture in our hair, because our hair doesn't keep so much moisture. So this was what we did every school holidays. Myself and my sister will have our hair braided in hair extensions because as you know, the 4C hair can be difficult to comb up every morning or try to style every day. You couldn't really put it in a bun. It was difficult to put in a bun. It was difficult to comb. And then after a while, my mom had this spiritual revelation. So she stopped us from using hair extensions. To her, hair extensions were demonic, maybe. So she didn't want us to use hair extensions anymore. So away with hair extensions, we couldn't use hair extensions anymore to have our hair braided, even in school holidays. Well, we still had to deal with our hair texture. So what I started to do, I started to put hair relaxers, in my hair to make it softer, to make it easier to comb, to make it malleable. I'll do that every 4 weeks. Hair relaxer put in my hair, it straightens the hair out. It basically changes the texture of the hair from the thick, dense Afro 4C into a straighter type of hair, and makes it easier to comb, I guess, makes it easier for you to put it in a bun. So this was what I did for a number of years. And then later I went into uni, and when I was in uni, I would have my hair braided in hair extensions because my mom was not there. I'll have that done when I'm in uni, and then before I come back home, I'll take the hair extensions out so my mom doesn't find out. So this was what I did, just to keep things going. Then when I finished uni, I decided I'd had enough One day I went over to have my hair braided. I put hair extensions in it. When my mom saw it, she was going to react, and I was like, no, mom, that's it. I'm an adult now. This is done. We need to get over with this. And that was how I crossed that. Let's take a step back to our parents' time. So during our parents' time in the 70s, maybe even in the 60s, they wore their hair in big afros. And then as we slowly went into the 80s, people started doing something called jerry curls, where they put some sort of product in the hair. It makes the curls a bit softer. It was still curly hair, but the curls were softer. I guess this was a way to make the afro hair, a bit more manageable. The question then is, why do we need to tame the afro hair? Why are we always looking for ways to tame the afro hair? Is it just to make things more convenient for ourselves, or are we trying to conform to what the white hair looks like? Why do we need the constant need to tame the afro hair?
This is the natural hair of most people of African descent. Some may say it's beautiful, yet for decades, most institutions, including the media, have treated it like it's something to apologize for.
1 in 6 children with afro hair endured a bad experience at school because of it.
This hair to me overwhelms her. It smells like patchouli oil.
Or weed.
I don't think it's a real distraction. I like my hair.
Unfortunately, to survive and be accepted as human beings, we have had to
Hide the roots of our hair so we can fit the room.
But how did we get here? Let's rewind time a little bit. During the transatlantic slave trade, our ancestors' hair was shaved, said to be for sanitation, but really was to erase our identity and enforce control. The same idea followed us after the slave trade into the colonial and missionary era, where African children were often required to shave their hair in schools as a sign of neatness and civilization. Full natural African hair were labeled unkempt or uncivilized. The stigma extended into the corporate space in both African and Western contexts. Natural hair like afro, braids, and locks were often perceived as unprofessional, having us conform to Western appearance.
Our natural hair became political symbols of defiance or resistance to colonial authorities and Western oppressive governments.
We're born with our hair like this, and we just wear it like this.
Black people become serious about the revolutionary struggle. The major enemy is the hunky and his institutions of racism. That's the major enemy.
It became a language of freedom, but freedom has a way of being rewritten. Fast forward to today. The media still reinforces these ideals today. For example, the 2020 Clicks Tresemme hair advertisement that labeled black women's hair as frizzy and dull, while describing white women's hair as normal.
But we also play a part in this. Think about it. Amongst many black women, we have built a quiet hierarchy rooted in segregation and competition. Who wears the most expensive wig or flawless frontal is often seen as the most stylish.
We call it personal preference.
But is it really your preference, or are we just dancing to a song written long before we were born?
The main aim of this video isn't to shame anyone for their choices, be it natural hair or hair extensions, but to highlight something deeper.
Where did our preference come from? Who defined what beautiful or professional hair should look like to us?
Or have we lost sight of our own reflection in a borrowed mirror?
Because our natural hair doesn't need permission or validation.
It really only needs acceptance from us. Now you're more aware. Do with the information what you like.
So let's move forward to today. How do we wear our hair as African women? Hold on. Do we actually wear our own hair? I guess you can say if you buy it with your money, then it's your hair. There are ladies that I know that have never seen what their actual hair that grows out of their head looks like because they wear wigs almost all the time. It's beautiful. It's the most exquisite, expensive wigs, but I've actually never seen their own real hair before. Do I have something against wigs? Actually, I'm not the greatest fan of wigs, especially the ones that are super straight, because that is not what the hair that grows out of my head looks like. This is what I say to myself. So even if I was to wear wigs, I actually do like the curly ones, the ones with a bit of wave and curls, so that it resembles what my actual hair looks like. The hair that comes out of my head is not super straight. Currently, I've returned to Afro hair. I've got no chemical relaxers in my hair at the moment. And this is mainly because of concerns around the ingredients used for these relaxers, which sometimes are linked to the causes of cancer. There are research is going on about this. There are people who've delved into it more. So maybe search online if you are interested to know about links between hair relaxers and cancer, possible links to cancer. Please do read that up in your own time. And another reason why I've returned to Afro hair is final acceptance of my hair. I finally accepted that this is my hair and that is how it feels and that is what it looks like. Sometimes I actually wear my Afro hair to the office. The way it is, I comb it out and I go to the office that way. And let's be honest, the world we live in now is acceptable to however you wear your hair. So even if you wear your hair in dreads, in Afro, you have your straight wig on that is long all the way to your bum, it's fine. And I think that is a good thing. I don't have a problem with how you choose to wear your hair. And I mean hair in inverted commas. But just make sure that you're wearing it how you want to and not because this is what is acceptable in certain places or in the place of work. Or you imagine that for you to be a big boss lady, you had to be in straight wigs all the time. Actually, I bought myself an expensive wig a few years back when human hair was really pricey. And I can tell you that I've worn that wig less than 10 times in 6 years. It's because I prefer to wear my hair in braids or wear my own Afro hair to wigs. I'm not the greatest fan of wigs. Does my Afro hair frustrate me sometimes? Absolutely. Is it difficult to comb? Is it difficult to treat? Absolutely. Is it expensive to take care of? Absolutely. But this is a part of my identity and I will not have it any other way. Or would I? I guess we will never know the reason why God gave us hair texture that is so expensive to maintain. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section about Afro hair, 4C hair, any type of African hair or black hair. Let me know how you like to wear your hair, you like to style your hair. Are you a wig girl or not? Are you a braid girl or not? Let me know everything in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching this video and bye.